everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes, and today in this video I'm going to be talking about
10 things you should never do without asking.
So these are things you should never be doing without asking permission from your parents or whoever. It's just not a good thing. It shows you, you should always show respect for other people's things, or like whenever you're picking flowers or whatever from other people's gardens, you should always just show this kind of respect because it's just more polite. It shows that you take care of things, and it shows you're responsible. So I'm going to get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. And this is a thing my mom completely taught me, which is a good thing because it's just always important to ask people about this kind of stuff. So here we go. Sorry for my wobbly camera, but anyway, number one on my list would have to be pick flowers from other people's gardens. This is super important. You never want to pick other people's flowers you never want to pick flowers from other people's gardens because it's just not polite. It shows you don't really care, and it shows that you think you can do whatever you want. It's just not polite because some people like the look of flowers in their garden, and if you just pick a flower from someone else's garden without asking, you're going to end up ruining their flowers that they worked really hard on. So if you ever want to pick flowers from someone else's garden, you should always ask first. It just shows that you care because a lot of people work hard to plant their flowers. Number two on my list would have to be take fruit from other people's gardens. You never want to take any fruit from other people's gardens. Trust me, people used to do that to me a lot when they would be walking by my front yard. They would reach over the fence and grab some fruit and stuff. I mean, I've had some people ask if they could take apples from my tree, and then I would have some people, like let's say middle schoolers or kids, take fruit without asking us, and my mom would get so mad at that because she thought that was very disrespectful and stuff. It's just never good to pick fruit from other people's gardens without their permission, just because you need to be respectful because a lot of people work hard to plant that fruit in their gardens. Number three on my list would have to be take money without asking, especially from your parents. So you never want to take any money without asking because that shows you have no respect for the person. If you need to borrow money from someone, you can always ask them, but you can't ask them all the time because you need to be independent and make your own money. But if you ever need money, you can just ask somebody. You don't want to just take someone else's money. If you need money, just ask if you can borrow it. It's just really rude, and it shows that you can't be trusted. Number four on my list would be borrow people's items without asking. So you never want to borrow other people's stuff without asking. That is very rude. It's very disrespectful. It's just not okay. So it's never okay to borrow people's items without asking, because what if you damage it and it's expensive and you can't afford to replace it? It's just, you need to be very, 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 very mindful of when you want to borrow something that doesn't belong to you because you just need to respect other people's boundaries. That's a rule we had in my house growing up, is like, if we wanted to borrow something from my mom, we had to ask her first. Or if somebody wanted to borrow something from us, we had to ask them first. They had to ask us first. So you should always just ask people if you could borrow their stuff without you should always ask people if you could borrow their stuff before you take it. It just shows you have respect, and you're very caring of other people's items, and it shows that you respect that person's item. Number 5 on my list should be go through people's drawers without asking. You never ever want to go through anybody's drawers without asking. That is just rude. It's disrespectful, especially when you're at someone else's house or in your parents' room or your sister's room or your brother's room. You just never want to go through anyone's drawers without asking. If you need something to borrow from them, ask them if they can get it for you. Don't just go through the drawers yourself and do it, because it's just rude, disrespectful, and it shows you don't really care about other people's households or belongings. Number 6 on my list should have to be take things from other people's rooms. This is so rude. It's not okay because you're not showing any respect for that person's item. And it's just really mean, disrespectful. And if you break whatever you took from that person's room without asking, it's not okay. I remember one time one of my sister's friends accidentally took one of my CDs from my room without asking, and it kind of made me a little angry. And then another time, which I'll probably save for a story time later, is a little girl I knew took my glove from my room without asking me, and she kind of got a little mad because I wouldn't let her wear my glove, but I did it just to teach her she shouldn't be taking things without asking. Number 7 on my list would have to be use other people's products without asking. So you never want to use other people's products, especially if you're in someone else's house, without asking, just because some people spend money on those products, and some of those products can be quite expensive. And if you use it without permission, then use it all up, you should probably tell them that you used it all up, so then they can get themselves more. It's just, you should always ask people before you use their certain products, whether it's their makeup or is it I don't know if it's makeup or if it's their lotion or their body wash or this or that. You should always ask people first before you do that, because people spend money on those products, and if you use it up, that is not okay. Okay, you should always ask first. Number 8 on my list would have to be use the stove or oven unless you're old enough. So you never want to use the oven or stove unless you're like, let's say maybe your teen years and you know how to use a stove and oven properly. It's just not a good idea just because you don't want to burn yourself, you don't want to catch the house on fire. You should always just ask permission before you cook, or if you don't feel comfortable cooking by yourself, you should always ask. So you just need to be careful when you're using a stove, because stoves and ovens can literally catch your house on fire if you use it without permission or forget it's on. Or you could burn yourself, because that can be quite dangerous. Number 9 on my list would have to be use anybody's computer without permission, because you never want to use anyone's computer without permission, because you don't want to accidentally delete something that is super important that they need for school or work. And it's just disrespectful, because if you break the computer, then you're going to have to pay for it, and computers are expensive to repair. Trust me, I had to get my computer repaired many times, and my parents had to pay for it, and it was no fun, but this is when I was younger. So just make sure if you need to use the family computer or your parents' computer because you don't have a computer, ask first before you use it so you don't accidentally ruin something on it. Sorry if you hear an alarm, that's for my chickens. I'll let them out in 1 second. Number 10 on my list would be take snacks. So this is not a good thing unless you're old enough to have a snack on your own. So you never want to take snacks without asking, because what if your dinner is close enough, or what if you eat yeah, you need to eat your lunch. So it's just never a good thing because you don't want to just fill up on snacks all day. Trust me, I've done that before and I was full for dinner. So you should always just be mindful about that. Okay. And those are my top 10 things you should never do without asking. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.